guys are having a good day today. My name's Sarah. I'll be guiding you through your yoga practice today. I've been teaching yoga for about 9-10 years. I've been practicing yoga for a lot longer. It's always been a part of my life, and I hope you start to see benefits trickling off of your mat and into your world in the form of patience, in the form of less reactivity, and of course in the form of bigger, more rhythmic and dynamic breathing when you're moving. So yoga is this complete science of life and well-being. We start on our mat, and I like to refer to this 2x6 or 2x8 as your safe space. So on this space, you are welcome to experience all of your emotions. You're welcome to experience resistance, walls of resistance. And I want you to just put it in your back pocket or put it in your mind's eye that resistance is an agent of change. So every time you hit a space in your practice, whether it's physical, whether it's a pose that you're like, that looks like something I cannot do, that's a wall of resistance. Can we try? Yeah, of course we can. And in the process, can we attain something maybe previously thought unattainable? Yes, of course we can. So that's just a little, message about what we do and why we do it. My dog's visiting with me today. So can I find those walls of resistance physically? Can I find them mentally? For me, Shavasana, that's that last pose where you just kind of lay down. That's really hard for me. And it's hard for me because I don't like to be still. I don't take the time to be still often. And so yoga makes me do it. Okay, so let's get started, everybody. My name's Sarah. I'm so happy to be here with you today. I'm a mother of 2, and yoga helps me be a better mom. Truly, it just does. So we'll get started in child's pose. Think long, think spinal extension. So your spine, think breathing in between the vertebrae, in between the spaces of your bones. Big toes touching, your knees are super duper wide. So width of your mat even. And then sink your hips back, they'll touch your heels, walk your hands forward. What to do with my face? A lot of times in yoga, for whatever reason, we don't want to put our head down. So you can turn your temple down. Take a couple breaths on the right, a couple breaths on the left. You can also take elbow to hand on either side and use your forearms as a pillow for your forehead. This is what I prefer. That's also a cool part of yoga. You make the pose, stay where you are, you make the pose fit into you. You make the shapes fit your body, your lifestyle, right where you're at. And if you do that with intention, your practice will be so full-bodied and it will start to become just a rhythmic almost movement, right? Where you're syncing breath and movement and you're completely in the present moment. And that's what I hope we do today. And without trying to change a thing about your breath, I want you to just notice where the air comes in. So we're not trying to change it, we're just noticing where it comes in. If it's coming in through the nose today easily, maybe you're congested, it's having to come through the mouth. And just feel the weight of the body on the exhale sink into your mat. Now our body does this kind of innately. Sometimes it needs some help from us to engage the muscles of the diaphragm to really start to breathe. All right, let's pop up and practice breath for a bit. Okay, if you have a book, a block, or a pillow, and you do not like sitting on your hips to your heels, that's okay. Sometimes it doesn't feel good. You can place the block right underneath your butt, your booty, and your knees will be wide for this. So if it doesn't feel good to keep your knees together and sit on your heels, let's separate our knees, put your block in between you, and then take a seat on your block or your pillow. Okay. Breathing, breathing, breathing. Yoga is a breathing practice. It just is. So we start with our breath. Take your hands to your belly. Straight spine here. So I said we weren't going to change our breath before. Now we're going to start to tap into our Ujjayi pranayama. This is similar sounding to an ocean wave. Some teachers like to say the Darth Vader-y, like, you know. I like to just say it's a deep breath in through your nose, constrict the back of your throat. Like you're closing on and off a valve right behind your larynx, right behind your voice box. Take a pause at the top and then exhale through the nose. Again, constrict the back of your throat. Again, deep breath in and keep constricting and contracting here. Let's focus on the belly. Your belly is going to open, your ribs move laterally, and then your chest lifts. Beautiful. Exhale through the nose. Constrict your throat, chest, ribs, belly. Everything kind of deflates. Like there's a balloon. Sometimes we pick a color balloon that serves us. Let's say purple. Deep breath in through your nose, filling up your belly, your ribs, your chest. Exhale through the nose, chest, ribs, belly. Beautiful. One more time like this. Deep breath in using that Ujjayi pranayama. It's bringing us to the present moment because now we have another touch point with the breath. It's sound. Beautiful. Exhale through the nose. Let's take 5 more of these on your own. Close off your eyes. Downward gaze. Last 4. 3. Beautiful. 2. And 1. Take your arms on either side of your knees. We'll take our right arm up and then take your arm up and over. So we're looking for this side lateral flexion from your hip point all the way out your top fingertips. You can turn your gaze up if it feels good for you. If it doesn't, remain neutral. And we're using that same deep diaphragmatic breath, but now we're breathing into the space over here. And if it helps, you can take your hand to your rib cage to feel the inner and outer movement that's going on in the ribs. To me, that's very calming. Feels good. Beautiful. Let's come all the way out of this and we'll take the left arm up. Breathe in, take it up first, and then breathe out. Exhale over to the right. You can take this right hand to your rib cage to feel the movement of the body when you breathe. Side note, we breathe a lot of times up here when we get stressed. Bring it down here to find some peace. Again, gaze up if it feels good, gaze neutral if it doesn't. And then from here, we'll take both hands down, make a basket with your hands. Inhale, send them up. On your out breath, cat back, palms to meet. So from the side, our cat stretch is a cervical spine stretch, moving through the thoracic, your upper spine. Again, inhale up. Exhale, round, seated cat. One more time, breathe in, take it up. Breathe out, cat. Plant your hands, walk your knees back. Traditional cat-cow. If you know what we're doing, you can go ahead and start syncing that breath with movement. And these are just little tiny poses that we link together with movement. And that essentially is the definition of vinyasa. Inhale, open, cow, look up, drop your belly. Exhale, navel to spine, tuck your chin, tuck your pelvis. This is cat pose. Again, inhale, open. And exhale, close. Inhale, open to cow. Exhale, close, contract, cat. Beautiful. Let's turn our wrists towards your knees. Curl under your toes, sink your hips back and forward, back and forward. Now we'll turn our wrists to the side and start to take big hip circles moving from the left to the right corners. These are pretty big circles here. Whenever we do this in a group class, there's people looking around like, am I doing this right? And here's a little secret. There's no wrong way to do it. Switch directions. Sometimes if you feel tension or that like place where you almost glitch, pause there, send some breath there, and then keep moving. All right, come back to center. Extend your left leg. Your foot's flexed. Belly in, knit your ribs back. Take some ankle circles here. Flex and point. Beautiful. And then we'll bend that leg. Open the hip. Just a tiny, tiny bit. Reset the hip. Extend the leg. Cross the midline. Toes down. Shift your hips back. Calf stretch. Beautiful. Come back to center. Extend your right leg. Foot is flexed. Belly in, ribs back, transverse abdominis. That's that girdle muscle, that deep abdominal muscle. Pull everything in. And we'll take some circles here. Point, flex, point, flex. We'll bend the knee, open the hip gently. Reset it, cross the midline. On the toes, sink your hips back. Calf stretch. Beautiful, come back to center. And let's take the left foot in between the hands. So just gently pop it up. Okay, take your time to get here. Inhale, arms up for your crescent lunge. This is our first crescent lunge, Anjaneyasana. And I'm pretty lifted here. You can also sink in, get into the psoas. But the hip flexor is a funny thing. You know, if you go too far, you might fall into some low back issues and compression. So this is a time for you to really sync the practice to your body. So for me, this feels better for me today. It feels a little bit more structured. I feel a little bit more secure and balanced. If this is where you need to go, you can always dig in here and get some more opening and flexibility. So if you're working on more core and alignment up, if you're working on maybe your front splits today, let's sink in. Wherever you are, take your arms up. Goalpost your arms, 90 degrees in both elbows. Deep diaphragmatic breath here. Working on our posture. A couple more breaths here. And then let's take our arms in front of us. Underneath you will be your right arm. So right arm underneath your left. This is eagle arms. Breathe in. On your exhale, let's just take a little cross. And you might not touch ever, that's okay. We're just looking for a little cross of the midline here. Beautiful. Inhale, take it up. And exhale, cross. Almost like a crunch. One more time. Inhale up. And exhale, cross. From here, unravel. Keep the right hand down. Left arm up. Curl under the right toes. Getting off the knee. This is dragonfly twist. Keeping your wrists in one line. I tend to hyperextend my standing elbow because I'm double jointed. So if that's you today, just make sure the eye of the elbow, the inner elbow, is turned towards the knee and you're not overextending it. Beautiful. Both hands down, back knee down, top of the foot down. Shift your hips back, half split. Ardha Hanumasana, half split. You can take half split heel to hip. You can also take half split split, half split up, nose to knee or chin to shin. Okay, and that's just You know, there's no right or wrong way to do it. It's just preference. Couple more breaths here. If you have a block, you can take block to the outside edge of the foot. Beautiful. Remove your block. We'll walk it all the way up and step the left foot back. Step the right foot forward. Wiggle those toes up so that your hands are framing your foot. And wherever you are at in the legs, let's take the arms up. So again, you could be in almost a 90-90 position. You can also be in a front hip flexor stretch. Either way works. Arms up, breathe in, exhale, go post your arms. This back knee is giving you some trouble today. You can always put a blanket, a towel, you know, anything, a cardigan underneath your left knee. Beautiful breath, wobbling's okay. Take your arms out and then take your left arm underneath the right elbow for eagle pose. This is Gargandasana in the arms. So we're looking for space between the scapula. We're also looking for a shoulder opener up front. Breathe in, lengthen, breathe out, twist. So it's a gentle twist. We're just crossing the midline. Beautiful. Inhale, come back up. Exhale for your twist. One more time. Breathe in and breathe out. Beautiful. Breathe in, take it up. Breathe out, frame your front foot and shift your hips back. To make this pose a little bit more accessible, you can also put a block right under your right hip. Just makes the ground a little bit closer to you as you find your forward fold and your front split. Half split. And again, up or down, either way. Finding that significant fold. We're feeling this in the back of the leg. If you lost sight of your breath, come back to the present moment with the Ujjayi Pranayama. In through the nose, filling up your belly, ribs, chest, constricting the back of your throat on the inhale and the exhale. Beautiful. Coming back up. Let's take the left hand down, curl under the left toes, right arm up. Dragonfly twist. Both hands down. Let's step this right foot back to downward facing dog. So you're in inverted V on your mat. Let's take 5 deep belly breaths here. Your hips are high, your palms are pushed into the earth, and so are your toes. If your heels can't find a mat, that's okay. Put a generous bend in your knees so that your hips are high. And your shoulders slide down into your back pockets, really broaden through the shoulders. Release the weight of your head from your neck. A lot of times in down dog, we want to do this. I invite you and give you full permission to take your gaze to your navel or to your toes. And start to pedal out your feet. I'm going to exit the pose just for a moment. Walk side to side, pedaling your feet, bending one knee. Beautiful. Maintaining that steady, rhythmic breath, sweet yogis. That is our goal today. Inhale, bend the knees, look forward. Exhale, walk or lightly float to the top of your mat. Halfway lift, inhale, straight spine. Exhale, forward fold. Chest to thigh connection, so if you want, you can really dive deep and bend the knees. Get your head all the way down there. You can also take a pretty intense quad stretch for Uttanasana, forward fold. Bend your knees, slowly roll up bone by bone to protect your spine. And then we'll take arms up, look up. Exhale, Samastitihi, arms at side body. Beautiful. Inhale, up. Exhale, swan dive down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands. Let's walk it to plank. On the toes or on the knees, chaturanga. Roll over the toes. Upward dog or cobra. Curl under the toes again, down dog. That is sun salutation A. Inhale, bend the knees, look forward. Exhale, walk or lightly float, top of your mat. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Slowly coming all the way up, rooting through your heels to rise up, arms up, reach up. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Empty out all the stagnant air at the base of your belly. Halfway lift, breathe in. Exhale, plant your hands, walk or float it back, chaturanga. Roll over the toes, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, down dog. One more time like this. Inhale, bend the knees, look forward. Exhale, walk or lightly float, top of the mat. Half lift, inhale. Forward fold, exhale. Inhale, come on up. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, rise up on your tiptoes. Take your arms up, 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 up. Exhale, Samastitihi. Arms at side body. Cool. All right, so your hips are a little bit open. Your spine has moved in a bunch of different directions. Let's move it left and right. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, with your right hand, pull your left hand over your head. Side lateral drip. Inhale, back up, lengthen first. Exhale, side lateral drip to the left. Inhale, up, gold post the arms. And exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, fingertips, step the left foot back. Inhale, crescent lunge. We're up high on the ball of this left toes now. So you are in the hip flexor now. You are just right there. If you have compression in the low back, shorten your gait, bend the back knee. If you don't have compression in your back, you are safe to fly into your crescent lunge. Breathe in. Exhale, hands move through your heart. We're taking a nice spinal twist over to the right. So your left elbow, if you can connect it on top of your right knee, please go there. Keep your hands at your sternum. All I mean by that is keep your hands right at the center. So if it means taking this up off your knee to maintain that twist, please go there too. This left hand will swing up, 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 up. We're in star. Your feet are gently turned out. Star pose. You're pushing the walls away, like somebody's pulling you east to west, right? And your chin is up and your belly is big and open and breathing. Breathe in and breathe out. Our culture is so into like constrictive clothing that our breath gets, it's like a deterrent for our breath. So when we can't fully operate our musculature of the diaphragm with tight pants or belts or whatever, it gets in the way and our breathing becomes different. So take a deep breath. Even if your belly goes over your pants, that's okay. Breathe in. On your out breath, warrior two, bend your front leg. So your toes are towards your front walls. Your back foot is about 45 degrees and your gaze is forward. Inhale, flip the front palm, reach up and back, reverse. And exhale, right hand to the inside or outside of your right foot. If you have a block or a book, it's a great place to find a little leverage here, get on a different plane. And this is not, necessarily necessary. You don't need it, okay? You don't need the block. You can also just take your hand to your thigh if you need a modification. If you've been coming for a while, right hand down, top arm over the head. And you can actually take this right hand behind your foot for even a deeper extension of side plank, Parshvakonasana. Beautiful. Top hand and core pull you up, reversing your triangle. We have straight arms and we have straight legs. On your out breath, tee out your arms, face the front of the house. Left hand comes down first. Right arm goes up, revolve triangle. So it's a contracted twist moving into half moon. So maintain your twist. Revolved half moon's waiting, push off. All the weight is in your right foot with a little bit on your TP fingers of your left hand. Left foot rises. Beautiful. And from here, we'll meet in a forward fold, top of your mat. Hands to your low back. Take them up and over. We'll do the same thing on the opposite side. Let's get there together. Moving through chair, slowly inhale, belly in, knit your ribs back, and then exhale, Samasthiti, arms at side body. You're ready to move into the opposite side. Here we go. Inhale, arms up, reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, plant your TP fingers, step your right foot back. All 10 toes driving forward. Inhale, crescent lunge. Crescent lunge is probably one of my favorite poses to be in because you have so much going on. You have your rooting feet. You have everything engaged in the musculature of your front leg. You have almost an external rotation. Your back leg, you have an internal rotation. Your belly's in, your ribs are knitted back. You're working on your posture and your shoulders and your arms are up. So much cool stuff going on. Breathe in. Exhale, hands to heart. Twist to the left. Get a better view this time of what I mean by keeping your hands at your sternum. We can stay here for our twist. We can also take our knee to meet our elbow. So if you did this and you shifted off center, I want you to pull up, okay? So if we can maintain here, I want us to maintain here. If we can't, no judgment, that's okay. Lift. Gaze up. Beautiful. From here, this right hand comes up and over. Star. Taking a couple deep inhale, exhales here. Breathe in. Take your toes to the front. Take your back toes at 45. Exhale, warrior two. Hips and shoulders are aligned. Gaze is forward. External rotation, both your legs. Inhale, flip, reverse. Lift up and back. Don't sacrifice the bend in your front knee unless you need to pop out for a second. Get back up. And exhale, side angle. Easy side angle or baby side angle. You can also take full expression of the pose in front or behind your foot. Beautiful. 2 more breaths here. Top arm and core pull you up. Straight arms, straight legs. Reversing your triangle. And now we tee out our arms to face the front. Walk your back foot up a little bit. Okay, so left foot's pointed forward, right foot's pointed forward, but 45 degrees or so. On your out breath, twist. Take your right hand down first. On TP fingers, this is revolved triangle. Pulling your left hip point back, right hip point up to see if we can find those square hips. And then slowly start to bend your left knee, push off, revolve, half moon. This foot back here operates like a lever. So the more you need, the more you dip forward, your leg goes up, the less you need. Bring your chest up, drop your toes. Right foot is flexed. Your hips are still square. Breathe in and breathe out. Take both feet down to your mat. Connect opposite elbows this time and we'll just rock heavy here. Beautiful breath. All right, bone by bone. Let's come all the way up. Take your left foot back. Right foot is bent, left leg's at 45 degrees, warrior one, Virabhadrasana 1. Tee out your arms. Take your left arm underneath your right arm. So again, visiting eagle pose. We'll take this down for a 5-breath hold. Inhale, lengthen, elbow and shoulders in one line. On your out breath, let's take humble eagle. So we're working our right shoulder to the inside of our right knee. You can release your head. Really have to call upon that deep diaphragmatic ujjayi breath here. Beautiful, and we'll take this up, 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 and over. Open your arms fly. Wide, one leg wide side, or skandasana. Hands come to your heart, keep your sternum lifted. This foot, I don't care what it does, it can be up, it can be flat. Mine feels better to be flexed, but that's just me. Beautiful, we'll take our hands down and we'll walk it over to the right, bend deep into your right leg for skandasana on this side. Take your hands to your heart if it feels good, or stay rooted. And we'll walk back and forth about 10 times, using your hands if you'd like, more just of a mobility practice. If you want more of a strength training, you can ditch your hands, keep them at your heart, and go back and forth if you need more intensity. Make sure you're syncing this subtle movement with your breath. Beautiful, and we'll take one more on this side. And we'll pause it with your left knee bent. Sit down on your hips, turn your toes flat, knee forward. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold, lead with your lowest rib so that your spine stays nice and flat. Find your foot and then roll. Beautiful. Inhale, look up. Exhale, walk your feet back. And we'll pop up, bend the right knee. Down dog. Inhale, bend the knees, look forward. Exhale, walk or lightly float to the top of your mat, bone by bone. Roll all the way up. Step the right foot back. Lunge deep into your left knee. Your right toes are at 45 degrees and your arms are up. Warrior one. Tee out your arms. Take your right arm underneath your left this time. Inhale up, elbow and shoulders in one line. On your exhale, humble, eagle, warrior. So your left shoulder to the inside of your left knee. Release the weight of your head from your neck. 3 more breaths here. And if you feel like you're dumping or you're just like, you're not using any abdominal musculature, lift up a little bit, see what fires up. Beautiful. Coming back up, let's take it over to the right, open your arms, and we'll sit back on the hips. Right knee turns in, shoelaces down, top of your right foot down. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hinge forward, grab your toes or your foot. Something, this side's a little bit tighter for me, that's okay. Go where you need to go, using your breath as a guide. Beautiful, inhale, look up, and we'll walk our hands on either side of our left foot. Curl under your right toes, send your left foot back. Inhale, bend the knees, look forward. Exhale, let's float our feet outside of our hands. Up, low yogi squat. This is Malasana. Sometimes in low yogi squat, we tend to fold forward and round. Again, common theme today, stay lifted, hands at your heart or your sternum. We can stay in low yogi squat with the option to arm balance today. Drop your hands are pretty wide, and you place your hands on your mat, towards the front of your mat. Little or no space between underneath your armpits and your knees. And all we're doing here, we're keeping all 10 toes on the floor, but we're requiring this beautiful muscular, almost like skeleton that our crow is going to just shift into. So we're lifted up through the hips, through the pelvic floor. We're lifted up through the sternum, but we're pushing down through our hands. And what we're having happen here is our biceps are super engaged because we're pushing, but we're lifting. Maybe you get some hang time here. Your toes come up, heels to glutes. Press back, rest in Malasana. or that low yogi squat. And when you want to try it again, I invite you to plant your hands, shift your weight forward like you're going to teeter-totter over. Weight shift. Beautiful. And weight shift back. All right, so let's sit on our hips. Take your knees up for boat. Your knees can be bent, feet on the floor. First variation. Second variation, your knees are at 90 degrees. Your hands catch right behind your kneecaps. Third variation, you're straight. Your arms are not supporting you at all. Go where you need to go. We'll take 5 breaths here. Maybe you take a couple breaths here. And then you see what it's like to straighten. Beautiful. Belly in, ribs knitted back, chest to the sky. Let's take 2 more breaths here. Again, this is boat 2. Toes on the ground is boat 2. Beautiful. Cross your legs in front of you. We'll take the right foot on top of the left. Inhale, straighten up. On your exhale, start to fold forward. 5 deep cleansing breaths here. In through the nose, out through the nose. Beautiful. Inhale, look up. Release the grip of your feet. We'll take the left foot on top this time. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, slowly start to fingertip your hands forward. Fold. And last inhale, exhale. Beautiful. Come up. We'll extend both feet in front of us for Paschimottanasana, the seated forward fold. Your feet are flexed, your knees are together, and you kind of wiggle out the squishy parts underneath your sits bones. All right, inhale, arms up. On your exhale, lead with your lowest rib. Sternum stays nice and high. Catch your feet or the backs of your ankles, or you can bend your knees and catch your thighs or your shins. Fold. Beautiful. And now release your feet. And from here, we'll come all the way to our back. And the sun just came out at my house. So all the way down to your back. And these poses are poses that I like to introduce like some pillows or some blocks to. So grab a pillow and just keep it close. You won't need it for this one. Okay, we're on our back. Pull both knees into your chest. Give yourself a big hug. Gently start to rock from side to side. Lumbar spine is saying thank you. And if you roll far enough, you actually get a little bit into the hips. Beautiful. Tee out your arms. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Take your knees left. Gaze goes right. From here, you can take this see the bottom leg, You can take it over for an eagle wrap. You don't have to, but it's an option. Beautiful breath. Inhale, come back to center. Exhale, release. One more of those. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in to prepare the spine for twisting, so we're finding space between the vertebrae. And exhale, drop your knees to the right, gaze to the left. Softening your eyes, keeping them nice and closed. Again, you can take the bottom leg on top and find an eagle wrap. You don't have to. Beautiful. Coming back through center, put your feet down. Like wiggle them up as close as you can get them to your sits bones. You might be able to touch your ankles. And search around, and now it's time for that pillow or block or bolster, whatever you have. And bone by bone, we're starting to peel up from the lower vertebrae, and your hips are lifted. Your heels are rooted, but your hips are lifted. And slide whatever prop you have underneath you. This is supported bridge. This feels really good. And we will just zen out here for a couple breaths. And your block should be right about at the sacrum. If you need more support, you know, as wide as you need it to be. Mine's pretty wide. It goes from like the middle back all the way down to my pelvis. If you're having some issues with low back, take your knees wide, take your feet wide, your knees together. Beautiful. And we'll take just 2 more breaths here. Lifting up, removing your prop, bone by bone, come all the way down. And when you get to the bottom of the pose, take your knees left and right, almost like windshield wipers. Beautiful. Curl up in a tiny ball, big toes touching, knees on your hands on your knees. Inhale, open, exhale, close. So it's like a circular motion, and we're stimulating joint repair. We're opening up through the ball and socket joint, kind of lubricating our joints, if you will. Switch directions. Beautiful. We'll take our left leg up, right leg down to the mat. This pose can be as active as you need it to be. Active pose, pull your navel to your spine, lift your shoulders off the mat, use your bicep strength to pull your nose to your knee. Passive stretchers, shoulders down, release all the musculature of your legs. Beautiful. Bend your left knee gently. Pull it in close. Take it out just for a moment. Both hip points stay on the mat. And then cross it over your midline. Coming out of this, extend your left leg. Pull your right leg in. Take it up. for an active or passive stretch. If you tried active stretch on the left, I invite you to pull your shoulders up, knit your ribs and your abdominals in, nose to knee. Use your bicep strength. And then set your hips and your shoulders down. Let go of muscular engagement along the back side of the right leg. Bend your knee. Take it open. Pull it in. And on your exhale, take it across. Take it back open. Take both knees into your chest. And then we'll roll the weight of the body to the left. Push up. All right. Pigeon. Pigeon is my most favorite pose to end with. And we'll end it, let me grab something real quick. We will end practice today with a 2-minute pigeon on each side. 2 minutes sounds like a long time in a pose, and it kind of is, but it kind of isn't, because it takes at least 1.5 minutes to get into the deep tissue and the fascia. Okay, your left leg is down the center of your mat, shoelaces down, top of the foot down. Your right foot is flexed. The less you need, pull it in. The more you need, pull it away from your body. All right, from here, we're taking only what we need today. Breathe in. On your exhale, let's start to walk our hands out. You can stay lifted. You can also take your chest down. Whatever you need to do. If your pillow's close, you can also use it as a prop. And you can take your pillow right underneath your chest. Stay here. I'll mind the time. And pull you out when it's been 2 minutes. Slowly start to deepen your breath. Notice any thoughts that came up, that bubbled up. That's part of your mental resiliency, part of yoga, like we talked about, when you hit those walls of resistance within the more, quiet poses. Just notice what happened. Let it go as we try it on the opposite side. So all we're going to do is shift the body weight to the right. Take both legs in front of you in butterfly pose, bound angle, heels together, toes together, and just wobble it out. Up, down, introducing a little bit of yang to the yin. Good for lymph return, blood flow. Beautiful. And then we will take our right foot behind us, top of the foot down, left foot in front of us. Find your degree of flexibility with this foot. Make sure the foot is flexed, protect the knee. Breathe in. On your exhale, slowly start to fold. And we'll be here again for 2 minutes. Breathe and rest. Let go of any muscular engagement, any clinging along the left side body. 2 minutes. Great time to call upon your Ujjayi breath, engaging the muscles of your diaphragm, your ribs, and your chest to breathe on the inhale and the exhale. Last couple breaths here. Slowly start to deepen your breath. Put your hands underneath your shoulders. Remove your prop if you took one. And we'll shift the weight of the body to the left this time. Baddha Konasana, heels and toes together. And take your knees up and down, up and down. All right, now we find stillness in Baddha Konasana. Take your chin down, chin up, chin to the left shoulder, chin down, chin up, chin toward the right shoulder, chin down. Come back to center. We'll take one hand to the top of the head and just slowly tip it to the right, so ear to shoulder. And we're not pressing down. We're just simply resting our hand on our head. So just the weight of your hand. No extra strength is needed here. You can also take your left hand to your left shoulder and almost feel like a spreading. Nice gentle stretch. We'll switch sides, so take your left hand to the top of your head and then slowly tilt your head to the left. Take your right hand to your right shoulder and we're pulled with gentle pull. Almost like a massage. Beautiful. Come back to center. And let's find just easy cross with our feet. Take our arms up and down. Up and down. Take a big circle. Take a couple back. And we'll take a couple forward. And then the last one we'll take back. Interlace your fingers at your sacrum. Pull. Gaze up. Knock your hands off center to the left. Gaze up and back. Cross your midline, take it to the right. Gaze to the left and back. Come back to center. And we'll slowly lay down for our Shavasana. However you want to get up for Shavasana is fine by me. All you need is a mat and maybe a blanket. And Shavasana doesn't have to look like anything special. Shavasana is just a safe place to land. It's just a safe place to be. Sometimes I like to take sideline Shavasana, just a different, turn on Shavasana. So you would put the pillow or the bolster between your knees. Use this bottom bicep as a pillow. Nobody go, nothing to do. Breathe and rest. When I exit the pose, please stay where you are. Nowhere to go, nothing to do for the next 3.5 minutes. Breathe and rest. Let your body assimilate all of the poses and the breath work that you just did. I'll mind the time and I'll wake you up in a bit. Slowly start to bring the awareness back to your breath. The gentle rise and fall of the belly. Take a deep breath in through your nose, filling up your belly, your ribs, your chest. And open up your mouth loud as you want or can. Exhale. Let's do that 2 more times. 2 more opportunities to let something go that you don't need anymore. Breathe in. Last time. Slowly start to wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. Reach your arms back, your feet towards the front room. Like it's the first stretch of your morning. And gently pull the knees into your chest, give yourself a big hug, roll to your right or left, pause a moment in fetus position. And just think of something you're grateful for, 1 or 3 things. When you're done, push into the earth, feel the weight of your body being supported by the earth. And then come to seated. We'll close out our practice today. All right, hands on your knees, face down, ready to give. Breathe in. Breathe out. Hands find your heart. Head bows. From my heart directly to yours. All my love, all my light, all my blessings. Namaste.